Well, good morning. I always enjoy a field hearing, and it's nice to be out in the field here in Washington, D.C. I'd like to thank the chairwoman for holding this hearing focused on properties that the federal government manages. The General Services Administration, or GSA, manages roughly 9,000 federally owned properties and private sector leases in all 50 states and territories. Federal real estate is what makes it possible for the civil service to serve the American people. This is programs like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, education, care for our veterans, and all of the programs and services that are so vital to our communities, but unfortunately, as we know, are currently under attack. For more than 2 decades across both Republican and Democratic administrations, the Government Accountability Office identified federal property management as a significant challenge, including problems of excess and underutilized space and poor building conditions. All of that is to say that this is a long-standing issue that many administrations have worked on, and it certainly isn't something new. My colleagues and I have consistently worked to improve stewardship of federal real estate so it can better serve the American people, and that is why I would love to make this a bipartisan hearing about how we address the needs of this country and best serve the people of this nation. The last administration disposed of properties saving nearly $2 billion for American taxpayers, and recently Congress worked together to pass bills for additional tools to reform and consolidate the federal property inventory. These efforts also directed the sale of 4 federal buildings, including the one we are here in today. The Inflation Reduction Act also helped to facilitate property consolidation, including reducing the Department of Homeland Security footprint by over 1 million square feet and saving taxpayers over $1 billion over 30 years. But instead of building on these successes and continuing to do what could be characterized as the tedious analytical work on behalf of Americans, the Trump administration is currently taking a fire sale approach of looting the federal government and stripping it for parts to pay for tax cuts that we know will come up in their reconciliation deal. Let's be clear. Republicans are trying to pass legislation right now that would give billionaires permanent tax breaks on the order of $37 trillion over the next 3 decades. And in order to pay for that, they are looting the federal government and taking a page out of the playbook of private equity. Take public assets, privatize them, sell them for profit, lease them back, help your buddies make money. And that is exactly what we're seeing here today. And unfortunately, we've seen this across the federal government since the Trump administration took office. In fact, we have been deeply concerned that the entire DOGE effort has been a front to help support billionaires who are trying to privatize public services. And just this week, we have seen, as Elon Musk is on his exit out of the federal government, he has secured billions of dollars in new contracts across the federal government. Conflict of interest? Yes, absolutely. It appears that he has recently secured contracts and promises for contracts at the Department of Defense, NASA. He has installed Starlink at the White House and is asking to install it at other federal agencies. And we understand that there is the potential to potentially deploy his AI technology across the federal agencies to replace the tens of thousands of federal employees that have recently been illegally fired. That is why we are deeply concerned about the non-data-driven fire sale that the Trump administration is proposing for federal properties, such as the one we're in today. So, I am deeply distraught and dismayed that we do not have an administration witness with us here today, that GSA is not here to answer questions, that yet again, Elon Musk is not in front of this committee, and unfortunately, we have yet to see a single Trump political appointee in front of this committee or the Oversight Committee. So, we will continue to do our jobs to elucidate what is happening inside the federal government. I look forward to hearing from the witnesses today, and I look forward to talking about how we can actually manage federal properties and the federal workforce to continue to provide the vital services that are needed for the American people. Finally, I just want to say that it is quite rich to talk about the abuse of federal properties after Donald Trump used the historic Postal Service building just down the street during his administration to make millions and millions of dollars from foreign governments while they came and visited him in the Oval Office. So let's make sure that we are doing right by the American people and doing things in a way that is transparent and also in the interest of the public. And with that, I yield back.